I already put this in the community post, but this happened while I was filming my Carson Wentz video, so you're going to see that after this. But my gosh, the best right guard in football, a guy who's crucial to our run offensive scheme. It's a shame. He already had an Achilles and or ACL before, then a shoulder, now an Achilles. I don't know, man. Get healthy. But we got to stop getting hurt. Okay, it's time to address this topic. We've talked about the running back position, the tight end position, the new wide receivers on the team, the secondary, the linebackers, the D-line. There's one position that I really didn't touch on because I felt like there was no reason to touch on that position, because that's the position that carried us to the playoffs last year, and that's quarterback. So let's talk about Carson Wentz and why people need to start respecting him. And if you don't do it now, you will come 2020. What is going on, everybody? I go by Philly Mike, and this is the Philly Talk Podcast. If you are new to this channel and love talking Philly sports every single day, hit that subscribe button. Now, if you're tired of hearing that same disrespect that keeps getting thrown on Carson Wentz's name, knowing that he's one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL, smash that like button. And oh, by the way, it helps this content and pushes it out to other Philly fans. With all that being said, appreciate all the new channel members that we got. I think we're sitting around 22 or 23 members total. So we definitely going to have to do a shout out video coming up real soon. And if you're interested in what a member's perks are, definitely check in the link. It's in the description. Check it out. See what it is. But let's get into today's video. Let's start this off by talking about what these guys actually criticize Carson Wentz for and what they don't. I've never heard them say Carson Wentz don't got a big arm, Carson Wentz can't make every throw, Carson Wentz can't read defense, Carson Wentz throws too many picks, Carson Wentz ain't athletic to get out the pocket. These are all things that you would never hear come out their mouth because it's not true. He's all them things. They will say things like he's injury prone or he fumbles too much. But honestly, a fumbling issue can be corrected. It definitely can. And he does need to get it corrected. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. He fumbled the ball way too much for my liking. But I will say this. A lot of the fumbles resulted in him getting the ball back and or us still being in the game because of Carson Wentz brings us back in the game. So I will not give him a pass for fumbling, but every single game that we played in 2019, no matter if we had Alshon and Djax there or Deontay Burnett and Rob Davis, well, go look them up on Google because that's who the receivers were. Those who ain't Eagle fans don't know who they are, but we at Eagle fans have to know who they are because they were our starting receivers down the stretch when we needed to win every game to get to the playoffs. But let's bring it back and actually talk about what Carson Wentz get criticized for. And that's the fact that he's not there when it comes to playoffs time. That's the fact that he hasn't finished all 4 years of his season. But people forget he finished his rookie season. He played 13 games in an MVP type season where you put guys like Mahomes and Lamar Jackson on a pedestal and bring them into the top 5 for having a MVP second year, which Carson Wentz did until an MCL, ACL took him away from that. And that type of injury is going to linger to the next year. And then you have a back, it's going to linger in there. But we saw Carson Wentz healthy last year for 16 games, and he still played the same style. He got sacked a decent amount of times because of the injuries on our offensive line. He moved around in the pocket. He made things happen. But at the end of the day, the guys we were throwing out there to help him throughout the season, no Nelly, no Djax, no Alshon, a hobble JJ Arcega-Whiteside, Jordan Howard not there, Miles Sanders in and out the lineup, the offensive line, like I said, not being there. Name another quarterback that could have won 9 games with that roster. I don't think there's many. Maybe Mahomes, maybe Russell Wilson, but that's it. But let's get into some sole numbers that Carson Wentz was able to accomplish in his 4 years being the Eagles quarterback with not too many people around him. Because let's remember, Dorial Green-Beckham, Jordan Matthews, Josh Huff, Nelson Aguilar, Mac Holland. I mean, what are we really saying at this point? Alshon Jeffrey in 2017 was good, but again, not a 1,000-yard receiver. We don't get that luxury. But let's get to the numbers. Only quarterback in history with 3 straight games of 30 completions and no interceptions. Only quarterback in NFL history to throw for 4,000 plus yards without a receiver over 500 yards. Carson Wentz was the 9th most accurate quarterback in 2019 when it comes to the deep passes, despite suffering a league-high 12 deep passes dropped. Carson has the longest active streak in the NFL in touchdown passes with 19 straight games with a touchdown pass. Touchdown to interception ratio since 2017. 1. Aaron Rodgers, 5.58. 2. Drew Brees, 4.82. 3. Russell Wilson, 4.35. 4. Pat Mahomes, 4.22. And 5th, Carson Wentz, 3.86. Wins versus a team with 10 or more wins since 2016. 1. Tom Brady with 11. 2 is a tie with Carson Wentz and Russell Wilson with 9, tied for second. 4th is Jared Goff with 8. And 5th is Drew Brees with 7. Carson Wentz has the 5th highest third down conversion rate in the NFL since 2016. The highest passer rating in the red zone since 2017. 1. Drew Brees with 113.3. 2. Carson Wentz with 107.9. 3. Lamar Jackson with 106.7. And 4. Pat Mahomes with 105.1. Now, if you want to go back to 2016 when Lamar Jackson and Pat Mahomes weren't there, let's see that. First, Andrew Luck, 112.6. 2. Drew Brees, 110.3. 3. Tom Brady, 107.7. 4. Carson Wentz, 101.7. And 5th, Jared Goff, 101.6. There you go. These are the numbers. When you got 1 or 2 categories that you're the only one to ever do it in year 4, that's good. And all these stats that I'm talking about that he accomplished, he did it with rarely having a true number 1. He don't got a Julio, a Hopkins, a Evans, a OBJ, a Antonio Brown, a Michael Thomas. He's never had that. He's had a tight end in Zach Ertz, but that's little by little by little. And Carson Wentz has a big arm. He wants to open up the offense. We all saw that week 1 with Deshaun Jackson twice. Look, I'm not going to sugarcoat nothing. Carson Wentz has to win a playoff game. He just has to. That's something that people will hold over his head. And once he does that, nobody will be able to say nothing. I agree. He got to do that. But if you're telling me you watch football on Sunday and watch this guy play, either in 2019, 18, or 17, just when he's playing, and you look at it and say he's not good, well, then you're lying to yourself. You're lying to yourself. In 2019, there was some lows, but who would not have some of these lows playing with a roster that got 2, 3, 4 players from the practice squad? If your playmakers consist of 4 practice squad players, 3 backup offensive linemen, well then, I don't think you have a chance of winning. But when you pay $100 million to a quarterback, his job is to win no matter what. And them last 4 games, was it pretty? No. But like I said, 4 practice squad players, 3 backup offensive linemen, and he was still able to pull out win after win after win after win. And one of them games was against the Dallas Cowboys, who in 2017 drafted Dak Prescott, and they like to compare him to Carson Wentz, who had Amari Cooper, Michael Gallup, Randall Cobb, Zeke Elliott, full offensive line, and statistically one of the best offenses in the NFL. And he lost to 4 practice squad players, 3 backup offensive linemen, Carson Wentz. And the main reason he lost was the last thing I said, Carson Wentz. It's as simple as that. And I can't wait for 2020 where he can possibly put up his best statistical year, because speed isn't everything. But with what we have in our tight ends and our running game, speed this year is going to mean a lot to a guy who wants to get down the field in Carson Wentz. With all that being said, thank you guys for watching, all the constant support. Like I said, we got a lot of question marks on this team, but Carson Wentz is not a question mark. So I just had to get that out there. Let me know in the comment section what you think about Carson Wentz. We all know what we feel about him, but show me how you really feel about Carson Wentz. Leave it in the comment section. And also, make sure you tune in tomorrow. I will be doing a live stream at 7 o'clock Eastern, and it's going to be with Ed Oliver. He's a Washington football content creator, so it should be really good. It's going to be the Washington football team versus the Philadelphia Eagles. Week 1 talk. We're going to talk about the division, but I'm going to need all the Eagle support there so we can chop it up and talk football. But it's all going to be football trash talk, nothing personal. He's a good dude, but we're going to let him know how the Eagles are going to play him week 1. Until next time, you know what time it is. We out.